guys, it's Aubrey from Monthly Plans. It is Sunday, and so I need to figure out what ink I'm going to use for my ink of the week. I have 6 options that I'm going to swatch today, and actually I'm going to move these to the top here. To see which one will go with my theme. So the theme that I decided to do for this week, February 3rd through the 9th, is actually going to be the exact same theme that I did for my monthly spread, which I don't think you can see the whole thing, so there you go. For my monthly spread, which is pretty much just vintage mail. Yeah, so I pulled some colors from my ink samples that I thought might work. You're going to see a few repeats probably from last week, but then a couple of newer colors that I'm thinking about using this coming week. Anyway, yeah, so to get started, let me move this out of the way. So, like I said, I have 6. I'm going to start off with one. It's technically a bottle ink, and I try to only use my sample inks. But it's a 10 ml bottle, and it's small enough that I feel like it's going to count as a sample. Anyway, so it is this Jacques Herbin Rouge Granat. Let me make sure we're in. Yeah, we are. Okay. Anyway, it's hands down my most favorite red. And honestly, it matches really well with like the red of some old style mail, or you know how some of the sometimes mail, especially you might see it, you know, if you're in the military getting mail or whatever, it's got that red and blue that's very very dark. That's what this Rouge Granat color reminds me of, and so that's why I decided to pull it to see if I wanted to use it this week or not. If I do decide on this one, I will absolutely be having the Dream Team, because that would mean I am using my favorite ink, Autumn and Auburn, from Ferris Wheel Press, and my favorite red ink, which is this Rouge Granat. So, but anyway, so this is Jacques Herbin. Or is it Herbin? Honestly, I don't really know. I'm not very good at languages. Unfortunately, I wish I was, but I'm not. But it's Rouge Granat, and it's just a beautiful it's a beautiful red, and I think it would do pretty good for the theme this week of that vintage mail. So that's the first option, and we'll see how that dries. The next one I pulled is Rosewood, which almost was the ink for last week, but then I did like a last minute switch and decided that that was not the route that I wanted to go with the colors for last week. But it's this Diamine Rosewood. It is very pretty. It'll dry to be a more like pinkish brown. When I got this, because I got this, it was the first time I'd ever bought samples from anywhere. I got it from Goulet Pens, and I thought it was gonna be more pink, and it turned out to be more brown in person. which is why I will always, well, okay, I won't say always because, you know, things happen. But I am doing my best not to buy a bottle of any ink until I have at least tried it out in a pen. You know, in the grand scheme of things, you know, if you buy one bottle of ink, it's not the end of the world. You're looking at anywhere between, you know, 10 all the way up to $30, right? But if you just go through, like I do, because I like to go look at different things in the shops, if I were to have bought all of the bottles of inks instead of just getting like these little vials first that were like $2, I would have had so many inks that I wouldn't have appreciated, and then I'd be stuck with those bottles and have spent so much more money. So I chose to do, I think it was $17 total. I got like 12 vials of, or 12 samples of different inks, and it's actually worked out really well. None of them so far that I have written with have me thinking I'll get a bottle, but I am glad that I have them. I just know that I won't use them that often, and so I'm trying to only buy bottles of things that I know I will use quite often and be excited about inking it up every time. So anyway, all of that. So moving on, this is Noodler's Cayenne. And I know you're going to look at this and be like, oh my gosh, that is so orange. It is. I actually kind of like this orangey color. Don't know that I would get a whole bottle of it just because I don't really do a whole lot of things or a whole lot of themes that are like, yes, we need orange. But this, and I'll show you at the end, but on that washi tape at the bottom where it's all of the little, I'm going to make a mess, hang on. On that washi tape that I put at the bottom, and let me move this up into view, at the bottom of my monthly with all the mail envelopes, some of the stamps on there actually have this exact orange in them. So I wanted to see, do I want to do that and kind of pick up that orange aspect, or do I want to be more safe and get a more safe color going? We'll see. So, and this is Noodler's Cayenne. Oh no, I ran out. There we go. And I just want to point out that this glass dip pen makes life so much easier for me doing this. It's definitely better than the the way that I did it before with my little A1 and just using the end of that and then dipping an old retired pen into the ink, and yeah, much less mess. This next one is Burgundy Royal, and I'm actually going to not put it here in the number 4 slot. I'm going to put it over here in the number 5 because I want to see Jacques Herbin Rouge Granat next to this Burgundy Royal. I think this one's got more purpley, or is more purple than this one. But I want to see them side by side because I want to see which one matches that red on the envelopes better. Because I really wasn't sure. So I wanted to do that. So, and this is Diamond Burgundy Royale, if I didn't say that before. And come over. that's gonna be extra juicy now. Oh, and I spelled it wrong. Well, we all know how to spell diamine probably, so we're just gonna roll with it. And it is burgundy. There we go. Dip that and wipe it. Those are actually pretty similar, more so than I thought they'd be. I mean, this one still has more purple, I feel like, than this one, but they're not that far off. That's crazy. The next one, and oh no, I'm gonna put it down here in this number 4 slot now, is Endless, and it's Candy Sea is the color. So this one I've noticed, or I'm pretty sure would qualify as an extreme sheener. At least that's what I think. I'm still kind of trying to learn the lingo of all the different properties of different inks. But this one, and you'll see when it dries, is very much a, it gives off this very sheeny look. So let me just wipe that off. There we go. And I can just grab the color here. So, and this is Endless. And I can't wait to use this ink whenever I do find the right week to pull it in, because I'm interested to see how it performs in a pen. All I've ever done is written with this, and it writes really well. It looks like it'd be kind of a more wet ink, I guess. But I really kind of enjoy it, and the sheen's interesting. I don't think I've ever written in a pen with an ink that would be considered an extreme sheen, but you can actually also see some of the sheen. Hopefully you can catch it in the light, but you can see some of that sheen at the top there, which is really cool. So, all right, the last one is Sherwood Green. And again, I'm kind of, it's a bit of a reach, but some of the envelopes on the washi tape that I'm going off of for this, they're green, and they're kind of this dark emerald green like look to them. So I figured, why not try this Sherwood Green? This is another ink that I'm kind of excited to write with, because I am actually looking for a good green bottled ink to try. I do technically already have a green bottled ink, but it is Monteverde Hope, and I got it on sale. And I'll be honest, I'm kind of disappointed in it. It's for whatever reason, Monteverde Hope ink, at least the bottle I got, it bleeds through everything, including fountain pen friendly paper, and that's true for even like if I have it in a pen. It's not just like, oh, you swatched it and you have a little bit. And so I don't know if I just got a bad bottle of that, but yeah, I have not been a fan. Anyway, so again, if I haven't already said, this is Diamine Sherwood Green, and I actually like how it dries on the paper. One day I'm gonna tip this over on, oh, that was a lot. Okay, we're gonna roll with it. Yep, that was a whole lot. Anyway, But one day I'm going to tip that over on camera. And the day that I do, don't worry, I will not edit that out. That way you can enjoy it. Anyway, so these are the options that we have for this week. Hopefully I'm in frame. Looks like I am. Cool. Oh, and I did want to do ink of the month up here because, well, frankly, it's my favorite ink and I love to swatch it. So we're going to swatch it. And it is, I just pulled out my little vial, but I actually loved it so much when I tried it in this vial and I found out that they weren't mixing it anymore. And so like I searched the internet for it and got a huge bottle. And it is this Autumn in Auburn. And I actually yesterday, just because I was curious, because I'm still kind of getting the hang of like when inks are like limited edition or not, or if they just like are like, no, we're just gonna take a few months off from making more, or whatever the case may be. But I went online and I checked the Ferris Wheel Press website, and yeah, they said that this was final batch. It's sold out. And when I went to buy this, actually, the actual Ferris Wheel Press website only had like 12 bottles left. And then I forget where I bought this from. I bought it, I can't remember where I went and bought this bottle from. It was not the Ferris Wheel Press website. I bought it from somewhere in the US because that's where I'm at. And yeah, they only had like, I think this was the last bottle, the big one, not the small one. And so I grabbed it up and I am so happy that I did, because, you know, when you try an ink, sometimes you just find one that really fits like what you're going for, I feel like. And this is it. Like, this ink makes me so happy every time I write with it in a pen. Like, this is my ink of the month, and I hadn't written with this ink in a little over a month. And as soon as I inked it up, I couldn't stop smiling. And I feel like when you find an ink that's like that for you, that's absolutely when you should buy it. And I know it sounds funny because you're like, oh my gosh, it's just an ink. Yes, it is. Maybe I'm crazy, but, you know, if it makes you happy. Anyway, so Ferris Wheel Press, and it is Autumn in Auburn, and that is my ink of the month. And I misspelled Auburn. I sure did. That's a U. So we're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. And yeah, there you go. So these are the options. This ink's not changing. It's there all month. But the other 6 are our options that we have. And I am going to take the Inspiration washi out, and I'm not going to stick it down because this is kind of the only time. I got this washi from the Paper Seahorse in Tampa, Florida. And so it's like I've only got however much I've got because I'm probably never going to go back there. Or if I do, I'm probably never going to see this again. So, but just to see, there's where I got that Sherwood green, and that actually matches really well. And then, where's that? Oh, here's the orange for that Noodler. See how that matches? Well, let me move up. Matches. So honestly, all of these colors would probably do pretty stinking well. That blue, that Endless Candy Sea blue is gorgeous. You know what? Because I have to have 3 inks anyway, what I'm gonna do, I think, is I'm going to have, between the Diamine Sherwood Green and Endless Candy Sea. I'll be honest, I think this one would do better as like the main ink of the week. So if y'all follow, me doing my weekly, my weekly planner setup and stuff, then you know by now that I use 3 inks throughout the week, but I only use 2 in my journal. So I always use the ink of the month in my journal, and then, let me rewind. I alternate days that I use the ink of the week and the ink of the month in my journal. And so I'll have the ink of the month always for the entire month, but then the ink of the week is my main journaling ink. That's my temporary one, right? So I think I'm gonna do the Endless Candy Sea because I think that pop would be good. And then for my third color that doesn't get hardly any use, I think I am going to put this Sherwood Green into this Jinhao Century 100. And that's gonna be the ink that I use for my, to mark in my part-time job. I think that's what I'm gonna do. So yeah, gonna be this Endless Candy Sea, and then Diamine Sherwood Green. So I'm gonna hop off here. I gotta clean out some pins, and then I'll be back in a little bit to ink these 2 up with you. So okay, so back at it. So I'm going to ink up this Endless Candy Sea in, it's disassembled, but in my Natomi Clear and Rose Gold. It's got a fine point on it. And then I'm going to ink up this Sherwood Green in, it's not got the nib unit in it, but in my Jinhao Century 100. I did go ahead while I was cleaning this. I switched out the medium nib that was in this that I just didn't like very well for a fine nib that I bought on Amazon. I think I got 3. I got a medium, a fine, and an extra fine that would go in here. That way I can kind of play around with which one I like the best in this pen. And see just which one works for me. So I'm gonna try this fine nib. Hopefully it's not as scratchy or giving me the same issues as the medium nib that originally came in this. So I'm gonna move this out of the way temporarily, and I'm gonna grab Endless Candy Sea first. So when it comes to getting ink out of these little bottles, I just can't, you can't get the ink the way you normally would. And so I actually have to undo that. And hopefully y'all can see me okay. Yes, y'all can, okay. Get my stuff in order. But anyway, and also hopefully I don't embarrass myself and make a mess, but we shall see. So I just have to tip the vial a little bit and then pinch it with my fingers like that. And then I just twist it up and fill up the deal like that. And you get a pretty decent fill doing that, and it does make a bit of a mess. Let me set that down, cap that off. That way I don't make any more messes, and I'm gonna wipe. So, and wipe. Put that one in. The downside also is that, like, the nib, it takes a little bit for the, see, you can actually, I like the demonstrator nibs because you can see, whoa, that would have been bad. But you can see how that ink is already kind of making its way down. It'll continue, and then eventually it'll be writable. If I were in a huge hurry to write with this right now, I would twist that a little bit to, I think they call it flood the nib. I'm not in a hurry. I'm going to see if it'll do it on its own while I am inking up this one. So that's one, and this is my Natami Clear and Rose Gold. It's got a fine nib on it. I really like it. This is a good pen. It was about 15 bucks on Amazon. I did get it as a gift from my mom for Christmas. The only reason I know the cost of it is because I actually found it and sent it to her. That way she had something to get me for Christmas. But anyway, yeah, so it's a really good pen. And I actually really like, I don't know if you can tell, but it's got like this spring mechanism in there. And it does a really good job of sealing the pen right there. I don't know if all pens have that mechanism or if that's specific to this one, but I can tell you right now, this $15 one, this Natami, does a way better job sealing than this Jinhao Century 100. This is the only Jinhao Century 100 that I've had, so I can't speak to if it's all Jinhaos that are like that, where they just don't seal very well, but I can say this specific one that I got does not seal as well as I would like. And so I do notice my ink getting darker, which from what I've picked up just watching other people on here tends to mean that the ink is evaporating. You can correct me if I'm wrong, because I could very well be wrong, but from what I've gathered, I think that's kind of what happened. And this one's going to be a little bit more tricky, so tilt it a little bit more. Hopefully I'm getting a little bit. I don't need like a ton because this isn't going to be used a whole lot. And yeah, I didn't get a very good fill. That's more so my fault than this. Is it going to be enough? I think, yeah, it's like a quarter full. So I'm going to call that enough because I'm not planning on using a lot of it. I'm going to wipe that off. We're going to plug that in. There we go. And that's for my Natami. And I have made a wonderful mess out of all of this. But yeah, these are the two pins that I've inked up for this week. This is my main color of the week, and this is just an accent. And then, of course, for the rest of the month, I will be working on writing through all of the ink that's in this TWSBI Echo Cream and Rose Gold. So, let me pull and let's see how we did. So, ink of the month is this TWSBI. Oh no, and I'm getting that. I'll have to wipe it off later. Cream and Rose Gold. And this is a medium nib right here. And this is that Autumn and Auburn. So it writes when I'm going a little bit slower. It is a lot more juicy, and I like that. Actually, this Autumn and Auburn ink in general seems to be more juicy, but I really like it. Hence why it is my favorite ink right now. So that's the ink of the month, and it's in my TWSBI Echo Cream and Rose Gold. I'll get that cleaned here in a second. So that's the whole month. This is the main ink of the week. This is this Endless Candy Sea, and we're gonna hope that it works. Nope, it doesn't. Okay, so I'm sure some people are gonna say that's an absolute no-no, and you're probably right, but I'm doing it anyway because, well, it's my pen. So let me just, okay, that should be enough, hopefully. And if not, I will dip it and we'll call it a day on that. Oh, no, it works. Oh, that's pretty. That's a very, very blue. I'm kind of excited about that. Okay, and wow, I really like that. I'm not really in the market for a blue ink, but maybe I will be after this week. I love that. And it writes pretty well. I mean, I have shaky handwriting right now. Wow, I like that. I like that color quite a bit. And don't worry, I'll do a quick close-up here in a second. Okay, so now this is the first time I'm using this nib. So we'll see. Does it? Okay, and I'll have to do the same thing with this nib. And I've just got just a tiny bit in there, so I don't want to overdo it. There it goes. Okay, let's see if that works. And if I need to, I can also refill this throughout the week, but I really shouldn't need to because this is only getting used as an accent color when I'm filling out my weekly. No. Well. Let's see. Maybe a little bit more. That's not very promising right now. Is this okay? Well, what's going on? You know what? I'm just gonna be that person that dips it then. Where is, that's Rosewood, Sherwood. Okay. Yep, that's gonna be me. So, excuse me while I cheat a little bit. So, yeah, I'll have to, well, this is just a messy one, isn't it? Okay, so, Sherwood green, oh my green. Wow, I like that. I like that a lot. It almost looks black though, so I don't know if that's gonna bug me or not. Cause I am looking for a green, a darker green. But I want it to look green on the paper. Like, so it looks green over here, but it kind of looks dark and almost black over here. So I'm gonna have to see how I like it this week to see if I'm going to want to buy a bottle. Oh, those were weird smileys. But anyway, so that is the 3 inks for this week. My 2 main ones and then the accent one, if you will, okay? So I'm going to shake you up a bit, and we're gonna go in close. So, ink planning. This is the ink of the month. I really love Autumn and Auburn so much. The options this week were Jacques Urbain, Rouge Granat, Diamine Rosewood, Noodler's Cayenne, Endless Candy Sea. I wonder if I can see how that sheens a little bit. And then coming back up to the top, we had Diamine Burgundy Royale. It looks kind of brown to me in the camera right now, but I assure you it's more of, well, a burgundy like the name says. Sherwood Green, Diamine Sherwood Green. And then this is a close-up of what the 3 inks that I chose were. So this is Autumn and Auburn. This is Endless Candy Sea, and then this last one, which really looks kind of black to me right now on the camera, but it does, I promise you, look actually a dark emerald green right now. That is Diamine Sherwood Green. So, looking at all of these, let me know which one is your favorite, which one you would have chosen, and yeah, leave me a comment below. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. All right, bye.